everyone. Welcome to another edition of Treelawn Talks. This is Eric Hansen, and this is our weekly program where we highlight upcoming events. April 17th, we're really thrilled to have Storm Large and her group in Treelawn Music Halls. Tickets available at thetreelawn.com. Treelawn is at 15335 Waterloo Road in Cleveland, the North Hollywood Waterloo Arts District. So thanks for being here, Storm.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Waterloo
Road, yeah.
My favorite ABBA song of all time.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, what? They won the Eurovision with it. Waterloo, how does it feel on the wall? They're amazing. White jumpsuits.
ABBA. I'm part Swedish, so I'm a disgrace. But
oh my God,
hey,
fuck you.
Anyways, yeah. So Storm's in the middle of a tour. You know, it's interesting because that's your real name, Storm Large, right?
Yes.
and it's a very bold name, and I think she actually fits it. Your music goes all over the place, and it's very. I mean, I was trying to figure out ways to describe it, which I probably shouldn't do, but it almost seems operatic at times, punk at times, theatrical. How do you kind of encapsulate your vision, or what are you trying to do on stage musically?
Well, I get called cabaret a lot because I incorporate a lot of storytelling in the show, a lot of comedy, a lot of like just taking the piss out of myself. Really, I take my job seriously, not myself. We used to call it loungecore. There's a lot of rock and roll, a lot of punk rock, but also theatrical type of like reimagining traditional rock songs or traditional American songbook classics into different perspectives to sort of to carve out a narrative for the whole show.
Right. That's awesome. There was sort of a lounge explosion, sort of like 30 years ago. I know Pink Martini was part of that. And Squirrel Nut Zippers, Red Hot, whatever, Cherry Poppin', all that stuff. It seems like an interesting thing because it seems kind of high and low art at the same time and cheeky and cheesy, but really intelligent too. And I know there's a lot of different you sing in a lot of different languages when in different groups. How much of that is still part of your show now, or are you just really on your own? And
I still sing with Pink Martini. I sing in 17 languages with them. I do a little bit of Spanish, a little bit of French in my show, but mostly it's just about just telling a story to the audience. Like the audience, I don't single people out in the audience or anything weird like that, but the audience is definitely part of the show. I don't make people get on stage or
right.
embarrass anybody, but it really depends on the crowd,
right?
How they are responding and what they're doing. That really kind of also, it's a collaborative, energetic collaboration between me and the band and whoever's there, and it could be 3,000 people. It could be 3 people. It's fun. It's different all the time. But in general, since we've been back on the road after the post-COVID touring world, a lot of the show is now we know how fucked up we all are.
Right.
Now we know how vulnerable and fragile this freedom and life is. Right. So let's remember to be excellent to one another because we were fed a healthy serving of holy shit not too long ago, and not to take anything for granted and to celebrate what we have right now, because it could be just snatched away really easily. It's just sort of like I don't know. It's not a distraction art. It's not like, hey, look over here, tits and jokes about sex. It's a little bit of that, but it's also like very personal. It's just super personal and fun, and also fucking hilarious and fun. And we are all in the same boat. I'm not like an artist who's like up here, the audience is down here, and we're different entities. We're all the same. I just have glitter on my boobs and I'm jumping around in a dress. That's the only difference.
It can be a big difference at times.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So when you do this, have this kind of relationship with the audience, is it more difficult? I mean, we're sort of on the smaller side of some of the venues you've been playing.
Good.
Is it difficult to project to a bigger? I know, like you played in Toledo, did you play 900 seater? You know, you're playing 700, 900 capacity places. Is it a real challenge to sort of connect in those settings, or how do you do that?
No, not especially not with those old theaters. Like old theaters are really built for intimacy because they're built before electrical amplification, so they're kind of encircled. So you can be the audience can have anonymity, and the audience can also be included in the lights and whatever. But I prefer. I mean, I grew up in punk rock clubs in smaller cafes, smaller venues, and I love the intimacy of those places. But in the Hollywood Bowl, I can project myself to the back seats because it's built right.
Oh, right.
Stadiums, I've sung at stadiums, don't like it. My voice is absolutely fine in a stadium, and people are like, oh my God, so moved by the sound. But I don't like it's such an impersonal experience to sing in a stadium.
Yeah, I think you'll like ours is a 300 seated, the 1927 building, an old Slovenian workman's home. It has a lot of cool
amazing.
Yeah, I think you'll like it a lot. It's cool.
Is it haunted?
It is actually. It is. There's
cool.
Some ghost people came to us and said that they detected paranormal activity, and they were going to come back around the end of last year, but they didn't make it. But we're also going to be hosting a very scary people filming, which is a documentary about very scary people. So it does have that vibe. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm excited.
I think
I'm a super paranormal nerd.
You could spend a lot of time checking that out. So
I know Ohio has been designated as like one of the most haunted states in America. I mean, Savannah, or maybe it's Charleston or Savannah. I think Savannah, Georgia, is the most haunted city, which I thought was interesting. So I was sure it would be New Orleans, but Savannah, because of slavery, because they had crazy bad, like horrible karma around slavery, around plagues and fires and war, and a lot of death, a lot of mayhem on that coastal city. But Ohio overall, I believe, is one of the more haunted states. I don't know why. I don't know how they designated that, but that's what I've heard.
Jeffrey Dahmer's from Ohio, I think. So.
Yikes.
So that doesn't help. We're talking with Storm Large, who's playing at the Treelawn Music Hall this Wednesday, April 17. Tickets are at Treelawn.com. One last question. What are your audiences mostly like, age-wise, demographics? Or is it all over the map? And has that changed over the last couple decades? Or?
Well, I mean, I'm older. I've been doing this for 32, 33 years. It used to just be, people my age. And then it started getting an older audience, especially with Pink Martini. So older people come to my shows. And now, since I've been doing it so long, we have like a couple generations. I have such a weird cult following that's like very kind of like I get recognized in really weird places, like at cafes and stuff in towns I'm not even playing at. But because I've been doing it so long, like someone inevitably somewhere will be like, "Oh my God, are you Storm Large? You look just like Storm Large." And so it's a wide swath, and usually there's people there who were just brought there by one of these cultish fans, and the fan will usually be like, "I'm not going to tell you anything about this fucking show, but you have to come with me," and that's how it's like I'm very old school, like hustler musician, where I came from before the internet,
right?
So we were stapling flyers up and licking stamps for the mailing list, stuff like that. So I'm still in that mindset of you shake hands and you look into the eyes of the fan that you want to continue to be your fan. And that's word of mouth. It's a way more sustainable career that way. Looking back, it wasn't intended as such, but looking back, that's a lot to do with my success as a performer.
Sounds great. We're thrilled to have you coming to us again, Storm Large, at the Treelawn Music Hall, 15335 Waterloo Road, this Wednesday, April 17th. And my 91-year-old father comes to some of the shows, and I don't know if he's up for it. So it's going to be a game plan.
We'll see.
I'll try to.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
He taught English at a high school for years, so he can roll with the punches too.
I'm not. Yeah, and I'm a daughter of a history teacher. teacher, history and a religion teacher, football, baseball coach. So I know that language.
Mr. Large.
Yep.
Large.
Coach Large.
Coach Large. Anyway, thanks so much for being with us, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday.
Thank you. I'll see you Wednesday. Thanks so much.